Good evening, everyone. Welcome at the show from Vintage Invicta. Today, I'm your host. I'm Casper, and today I want to have an live stream and Q&A, talking about a lot of questions I most time get private in on Instagram, sometimes in the comments on YouTube and other social media like Facebook. And I just want to answer some questions that I get very often. Also, if you have a question and you're online and is in this stream, let me know in the chat your question and I try to answer it. So, before I start today, I'm wearing this new release. So, this one was for pre-order. It's the 1960 Chronograph, if I'm right, with the model number 35113. As you can see, very nice size, 40 millimeters, with a sunburst dial, classic design, classic chronograph. Very nice release, and if I'm right, you can still order them because there are still some available. So, again, welcome on this live stream, and I just want to answer some questions that I get very often on social media. No, one of the first questions that I get a lot. Hey, OD watches, thank you. Yes, I'm also happy to be online and have a chat with you guys. Just today a little bit, just hanging around, and I hope to get some very interesting questions. Um, but I think this is the question that I get most, and that is if I sell my watches. So I get very often this kind of questions on Instagram. So let me put it on top. Do I sell my watches? So that's also a very difficult question because I'm not really a trader. So you have on Instagram, you have a lot of guys. Um, Most time I think those guys are like maybe 17 or 18 years old, or between the 17 and 18 and 25, and got their they got a handful of watches and they start an Instagram account specially for watches, and they think they are a watch expert and they try to trade and sell and buy watches. And I see that very often on Instagram, but I'm not a trader. I'm not a professional uh, watch trader just to sell watches and buy watches. I just doing this for my hobby. It's an hobby. I have fun with buying Invictas. If it's the modern or it's the vintage Invictas, I just have fun to collect them, and I'm not that guy that really want to sell my watches. So maybe if I get an offer that is really, 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 really uh, attractive, maybe I will sell some of my watches. But for the most part, when somebody sends me a private message, I always will tell them that I'm a watch collector and my watches are not for sale. So that's the first thing. And sometimes people also on pictures on Instagram, they send messages that they interested in the watch, and yes, I try to contact them in private and also explain the same thing. So I think this is a question that I get very often. A lot of people ask me about, especially when I upload some pictures. There are always people that are interesting in my watches. So yeah, uh, but it's also a very easy question to answer because most time I don't sell. Lately I trade one of my Invictas for another one, so with the option to buy it back when the guy decided to stop with watch collecting. But I think that was just an exception, like an not something that I will do that I will do a lot. Yes, and sometimes I get messages with people that are saying, "Oh, I got an Oris. Do you want to trade with for that Invicta?" Or I got an Glycine. Do you want to trade it? And I had in the past several times that people are offering also some vintage or modern watches for my timepieces, but I love Invicta, right? So it's always always difficult. Yes, this is also a question. So I think this is also I. Let me see. I hope it's big enough. I just hate a watch with Invicta on the dial. So there are a lot of watch groups on Facebook, and sometimes I love to chat with people, like commenting on the pictures of somebody's watch, and sometimes I upload some of my pictures. So in some watch groups that I'm active, there are people that are complaining just on my watches because there's Invicta on the dial. They say, yeah, yeah, okay, watch, but because there's Invicta on the dial, it's a bad watch. Only because the name Invicta is on the dial, it's a bad watch. It's not a great watch. So ah, you like the rap song I uploaded? Yes, yes. Somebody sent it to me. Somebody made it specially for me. So I know a guy who's lived in America, and I get in contact with him. I think by Instagram also, and uh, he offered me to make a video for me. So yeah, some people were complaining about it because it's very positive on Invicta. So maybe maybe I can show it here today if we have time left. Maybe I will do that. But yes, I uploaded it last Monday, if I'm right. So a rapper, Keyboards. What is its rapper's name? Key Baux, if I'm right. Um, so that's his rapper name, and he made an short clip about Invicta watches, about that they are affordable, and you can get a lot of watch for the money, and you can just flex with such affordable watch, and you can find modern and classic you can find modern and classic vintage Invictas. Yeah, so I really liked what he has done. I can rap. For the people that know me, I can play some instruments. But mostly classic music, and totally not R&B and rap, and no, it's not for me. Um, so yes, I was talking about those groups and people that are complaining about just because, as example. So overall, the watch I'm now wearing is just it's based on an vintage design. So this one is based on a vintage design. Let me get it. I hope it will. No, it will not. It will not get. So the watch I'm holding in my hands, it's based on an vintage design. So when I upload vintage watches, pictures of them, people are complaining, yeah, the design is okay, but I wish Invicta was not on the dial. I think because people don't like maybe some of the image that Invicta has with the big bolts and over-the-top watches that they produce nowadays. And also when I show them some nice modern or nice vintage watches, they thinking about those watches they don't like. But I don't understand what I think you always have to be open to something new, something new. So I don't understand people that are just commenting something, just this. They're commenting, I don't like it because Invicta is on the dial. I cannot. I don't understand such comments. I also sometimes get some private messages with something like that, like, yeah, your watches are okay, but I don't like them because Invicta is on the dial, because I just hate Invicta, or something like that. And people are just saying, I just hate Invicta, and okay. Invicta doesn't has their own designs. Yeah, that's something I I get. This is something I read a lot. Hey, Kevin Ramses, how are you, guy? So, Invicta don't has their own designs. So that's also a comment that I get a lot. People are complaining about Invicta when they produce models like Venoms that are 50 millimeters plus, or Grand Divers that are a little bit homage to the Rolex, but also totally different. Because if you have a Rolex and a Grand Diver just on your table, you will see it's two different watches, totally not the same. If you have a Pro Diver and then Rolex, yes, you can see it's the Pro Diver is based on the Rolex, but Invicta produced their own designs. Not everybody likes those designs. People like me, Invictaholics, love modern Invictas. But Invicta they have their own designs. But but people are saying, are always complaining, Invicta doesn't have their own designs, or when they have their own designs, they are too big. But if you're looking into their catalog, I have some Invictas, but I don't pick them up today because I've showed them in the past a lot. I showed them in the past several times. Invicta had some 40 millimeters, 42 millimeters. Once about the modern Invictas, their own designs. As example, this one is a reissue of a 1960 chronograph. It's an own design, but still, I upload some of pictures of this watch in some groups, and people are complaining, oh, it looked very similar to a modern Seiko, or oh, it's look very similar to a Citizen that I got that is produced in 2010 or something like that. So even if Invicta produced something new and it's their own design, people keep complaining. Today, besides all the questions that I just want to besides this Q&A, I just also want to show some watches that I recently received I bought them recently, and I just want to have a quick look to them. But we will do that within some moments. I have, I think I have one question that I got. I get a lot. Um, so I think it's not true that Invicta don't have their own designs. Invicta produce a lot of watches. If I'm right, some thousands every year. So yes, you have a lot of just the same model with in different colors. It's not like when brands like Rolex produce a new model this year, they will just put it in an just a different color bezel, and they say it's a new watch. Invicta will produce one model, and it will produce it in 4 different colors, or sometimes even more, 10 different colors for that one model. And Invicta producing just when you have all the color combinations, they will produce every year several thousand of different watches. I think when it's just about the models, still a lot, maybe some hundreds. So yeah, I think it's not true that Invicta don't have their own designs, and they have 2 or 3 design teams. If I'm right, one located in Switzerland, who's working for Glazine most time. One in Malaysia, they have a watch factory, if I'm right. At least their 1953, the Pro Diver 1953 are produced in Malaysia, and they got a factory there, and I don't know where the other one is. Maybe I can ask. Maybe I can send them an email and ask them. So this is based on the 1960. As example, this is based on the 1960 chronograph that I have, and it's not totally a copy of that chronograph, but it's based on. It's almost the dial is when you have them when you I made the videos I think several months ago, and I compare them. You can see the dial is almost the same, and the case is very similar, but this one is bigger. This one is bigger. It has a flame fusion crystal. It has a quartz. It's not mechanical. The pushes are similar, but it has its own face. Let me go back one time to this one. What design? What's about the modern Invictas? What design do you like most, or what do you like best? Which one? I'm just very interesting to know. What do you like best? I think of the modern Invictas when it's about the bigger sizes. I like most. Maybe I cannot decide between the Venom and the Bolt Zeus. I think those two I like best. Yeah. Okay. This is also a question I get a lot. I think recently someone sent me also this question on one of my videos. I think on the stream last week. So how or where to buy vintage Invictas? So there. Oh, you like the reserve line? Okay, great. OD watches, yes, the reserve line. But the reserve line, there are a lot of models in the reserve line. So you have the reserve tin, and you have and also every model line almost has a reserve model. So you have the Venom, you have a Venom um, reserve, and you have an Bolt Zeus reserve, and you have an um, Coalition Force reserve, etc. But about the question, I get very often also questions about where to find those vintage pieces, also in watch groups, and sometimes I contact people privately and tell them where to buy, and sometimes sending them some of those watches that you can find on eBay or Etsy, or just to show them some good options. But what can I say about this? Because I think this is an topic on its own, and I think it's too much now to just to tell everything about how to and where to buy vintage Invictas. I think I will do, maybe coming weeks, I will do a live stream, and I will go online with you, and I will show you just how I will look on the internet, and I will tell more about buying. And I'm not a watch expert. Just like in the beginning of the stream, like I said, I'm a watch collector. I love collecting watches and talking about watches and showing them. But so when I'm looking for vintage watches, I also make sometimes mistakes. Sometimes I'm buying crap. But there are some things that I will look for. I will look out for, and yeah. So maybe next week or the week after, I will do a live stream, and we will just go on Google and on eBay, and we will watch together some we will watch together some to look for some watches. So yeah, what I can tell now about. Okay, what I can tell about um, where to buy in vintage Invictas. So most time I'm using Google. I will use a search machine like Google. So that's one, and you can just type in the model you're looking for, or some searching terms. That's one. I'm using eBay a lot. I'm buying a lot on eBay, but it's really difficult because there are also a lot of crap on eBay. But when I will do that video, I will go on that topic on where to look out for. So that's one or two. So you have Etsy. There are not a lot of watches on Etsy. There are just a handful of vintage Invictas on Etsy, but sometimes you have a lot of nice sellers there. But it's also a place I bought one or two of my watches. And I think you have, like, here in Holland you have Marktplaats. So that's a marketplace, a digital marketplace. It's a little bit comparable on eBay, but just only for the Netherlands. You can buy secondhand stuff there. So and I think you have a lot of the same websites in different countries. So you have, I think almost every country has a website for secondhand stuff, and sometimes you can find Invictas there. and you have auction websites. So that's 5. And you can look sometimes on auction websites, or you can put a search term there, and when they find something, they will they will send a notification on eBay, on your mail. Sorry, they will send you a notification on your mail when they find something that you're looking for. And the last, and 6 is so you have independent dealers, but the last one, independent dealers, is difficult. Some of them you can trust, and some of them you can't trust. And the people, the dealers you can trust are most time more expensive. So if you compare it like to eBay or something, that's really cheap. You can find really cheap stuff on eBay, and when you go to an independent dealer, it's really sometimes it's 5 times the price, or 6 times the price. Let me check the comments. Some people are commenting. Scroll on top. It's Kevin Ramses. It's great that you talk about these watches. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you. I appreciate that. One day I should put a video with a degree in Spanish. A lot of people from Latin America buy these watches. Yes, I know. There are a lot of I know some independent dealers, or independent people that are selling Invictas very often, that are from Latin America. So I know a lot of them. Oh, the watches. Kevin, do you also collect watches? No, I don't collect. I only have one, and it's a Grand Diver 8926. Oh, Grand Diver is okay. There's nothing wrong with a Grand Diver. And if you like it and it will fit on your wrist, it's just a nice watch and will last for years. So, okay. So these questions, these questions are just I get very often, and just as I said, I just want to show you also some watches that I recently got. Let me check if it will. Yeah. Okay. Great. So I zoomed in, and I got some troubles with the camera, I think. But that's not a big issue, because I will just go big and show them here. So maybe I will just put it on the smaller and just tell about it. Okay, so the one on the right, they are all from the 40s, 50s. So they all I got. I think they are two of them. Two of them I got very cheap. The two on the right, and the one on the left was just a normal okay price. Yeah. So let me pick one. I hope. So this one I got. I think this one sold for maybe $30 or $40, and I had some cent cost, so it was around 50 euros. So that's for a watch that is not really expensive, but you can see the state is very nice. It has some light scratches on the case, but the dial is very clean. I'm not sure about the hands of the watch. I think they are reloomed some years ago, but that's okay. Also, the when you have a look on the dial, it's just very clean. There's nothing, there is no real damage on the dial. They are not all 31 millimeters. Yes, they are very small. So if you compare them to the watch I'm wearing today, you can see they are small, but not 31. If I'm right, this one is 32 millimeters. I measured it last week. So this one is 31, and also the one with the black NATO is also 31 millimeters. Or 32 millimeters, sorry. Let me see if I can get it. It's on the camera. So this one is also very nice. You can see the dial is different than the other one. The other one is, I think it's a pink gold. This one is grayish. But the same style. And if you have a look on the movements, I'm almost pretty sure that they are from the 40s. And also, if you consider that they are very small, it was just the people, when you have a watch from the 40s or the 50s, yes, or before or earlier, when you have it has when you have a watch from the 40s or the 50s or earlier, they are most time just small watches. It was a trend in that time just to make and produce watches that are small. People were just also not as big as nowadays. Yes. So the watches. Yes, this one, the one with the black strap is a bumper automatic. So that's also something that indicates that it's a watch from the 40s. So bumper automatics were most time very expensive movements, high-end movements of that time. So it's very interesting that Invicta put a bumper automatic in their watches. If I'm right, Invicta produced even in the 30s their own automatic in-house movements. I don't have one, but I know that because you can find on internet some patents. You can find some patents on Invicta automatics. But maybe I will show that also in the future. I got some pictures of it, and you can look it up if you're looking for the patent on online. Can you explain what the bumper automatic is and how it works? Oof. I have to open the watch to do that. OD watches. So normally, when you have an automatic, it has a rotor, and that rotor can go 360 degrees. Just it will go. Yes, it will go around. But with a bumper automatic, maybe I can open it. No, I have to take the ball. So with a bumper automatic, it doesn't go 360 degrees, the rotor. So there's a small rotor that will go 100 and most time 120 degrees, just going only and not going a whole round, but just going half. And it will wind the movement on that way. So by going only left and right. Also with moving your wrist, just like an automatic, but it's less efficient because it's not going the whole 360 degrees. But it's much easier if I could show you that. But I have to open the watch. I cannot show that. Ah, it will open. So I also like the movement in this watch. It will so you can see the part that is moving. It's not like a rotor like a normal automatic. When you have a modern like NH35 movement. Ah, it's focusing on my head. But I think you understand what I meant, right? So it's not like a normal automatic, because the rotor just it's different. Hello, Thomas Hutz. Let me see. Well. Yes. Oh, great. You got it. Yes, I think also the 35113. It's a very nice, very nice watch. So yes, I get a lot of people that are asking why they didn't put a mechanical movement inside the 35113. But you must know that it's also something new for Invicta to produce some of their older vintage designs, and they're also trying some new things out. And I think to do reissues on their own designs that they did in the past is also something they just experiment with. But and they when they producing watches with mechanical movements, they are just more expensive, and it will cost them also more money if they don't sell. And also, besides the watches that are more expensive, when there's something wrong with a mechanical chronograph, it's more expensive to do service on it. So when somebody has a warranty on a mechanical chronograph and that it's functioning, they have to do service on it, and it's more expensive for Invicta on an, as example, on a Seagull chronograph, then when they have now this quartz, it has less the chance that that this one will not work within 3 years is very small, or 4 years if Invicta will give 4 years warranty. The chance that there is something wrong with this watch within 4 years is very small if you just use it normally. But with a mechanical, it's there's more chance that something can go wrong. and also the surface is more expensive. So yes, thank you. Yes, I also love that watch. The design, I think the design is very nice. So and it's not that expensive. If I'm right, they sell them on their website for 120 euros. That's really cheap. I think almost everyone, if you're looking just for a classic design, something that you can wear daily, something that doesn't go wrong within years, you can do this one. Nothing wrong. I like the bumper technology. Thank you for showing the movement. Yes, you're welcome. I also like it. So it's pity that I um, didn't can tell I can't tell more about it. So because I have to look up for it, I've searched already because I got a watch and I already searched for the movement and what it is, but I'm not an expert on bumper, and I think I have to read more about it to tell more about it. But it's a very nice movement, and people, I spoken some, I know somebody sent me a message, and he told me that um, the bumper movement inside this watch wasn't is not the cheapest one of the time. It is a more expensive version.